Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Right, today we've got a single coil RDA stroke RSA, and it was kindly sent over from Wotofo for the purpose of this review. It's called the Elder Dragon, and here it is. I've got the gunmetal version. We've got it sitting on top of the Wotofo topside dual. So without further ado, let's get down to the table, have a good look around this RDA, throw a little build in it today of course, and then we'll come back up top and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, see you down low in a bit. Right, down at the table, here's the packaging. So we've got a nice see-through window in the front there, and we've got the new design work from Wotofo. Looks very funky. Ryujin RDA, Wotofo.com there. On this side, we've got the contents list. On the other side, we've got some warnings going on, a little bit of design work there. And on the back, we've got Ryujin RDA, designed by Wotofo and the other gentleman, who I believe is Japanese. On this side, we've got it's gunmetal we've got here, and the scratch and check authenticity and the barcode. On the other side, we've got Wotofo's social media. So to open the lid, we've got no thumb cutouts, so I partially opened it before we did the review. So you just pull that off like so, and that's what it's presented like. Right, so when you open the box, you'll find a selection of goodies for you. So we got some shoelace cotton there. We've also got a couple of O-rings, the 510 pin there. I've already got the squonk pin installed. It does come installed with this one originally. We've got a couple of grub screws. I put this tape on myself. We've also got a pull-out instruction manual for you. A couple of fused Clapton style coils, so these look very nice indeed. And we've also got a Phillips screwdriver and Allen key. Frosted black 810 fitting drip tip, so you get 2 drip tips with this, and you get a 510 drip tip adapter, which is very nice to see. There is also this tool here, which is used to cut leg lengths, but it's not very good in my opinion, and I would always recommend buying an authentic coily tool. Right, so here's the Elder Dragon RDA. So we've got it on the Dillygaff Atty stand here, the piston Atty stand. I've got the matte version, so it's not as reflective in the light, but you can check out Facebook if you want to purchase one of those. Right, so on the top we've got a marble acrylic style drip tip, 810 fitting. You'll just see around the top there we've got the O-ring, so you can just plug any old one in as long as it's 810 fitting. Here's the spare one that comes with it. I don't think it looks quite as good, so we'll leave that off. So if you look around this RDA, you see we have got some engraving, deep engraving here. It's a little bit rough if you put your fingers that way, but it's okay if you just stroke your hand across like so. So we've got a nice bit of machining. This part is not rough, but it's sort of been carved out of it. We've got dual airflow, so we've got 2 holes on this side, 2 on the other side, which is adjustable. We'll show you that in a minute. And we've also got sort of slopes downward with a like sort of step design. Now I did measure this. It's 22.5 at the base and bulges out to 24 at its widest point. The length of it was just under 22 millimeters without the drip tip on. So while we're here, have a look at this airflow. So we have got some adjustability. So if we just spin it round, you see we can just start closing off both of the holes. You can close them fully off, and we have got stoppers on both sides. And what you adjust on one side will be the same on the other. So to pull this top cap off, you just go like so. Nice O-ring tolerances on here, really nice. So there's the inside. We got some doming going on, and you'll just notice a little notch there, one on the other side too, and that helps with the locking mechanism, which I'll show you on the base in a minute. But a nice chunky piece of stainless steel, this one. Right, onto the base then. So you'll notice we have got 2 O-rings, one around here, one around the bottom. Phillips style screws, so we've got 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. This is a single coil RDA, but you can use basically the different orientations, because if I just show you around the top, you just see we've got the postless build deck, so you can have one leg over here, one over here, or you can have one up there and one over here. And you will notice the positive, which has got a peak insulator surrounding it, and we've also got angle down airflow. Don't know if I can pick this up on camera, but so that is angled downwards towards the coils, and they're also coming at this sort of angle on both sides as well. So it's a bit of a new design. I haven't really seen it quite like that before. On the sides, you'll notice we have got some cutouts there to help you rest your coiling rod, so you can put it like this when you're installing your core. It comes in very handy indeed. On this side here, where the airflow holes are, it's slightly recessed, and this is where the locking cap comes into play. So you get those notches under here, and when you put it back on, you just twiddle it round so it sort of goes on there. It sort of locates in between the section of that locking cap, and that's what helps you assist it when you're undoing it from your mod, which is very nice. So there's the squonk hole, got the squonk pin installed. We'll show you it in squonk mode later on when we do the build. But yeah, that's about it for the download section, so we'll throw a little build in it now. Just show you a quick look at the coil we're going to use today. It's from the Rolling Fog coils. So we've got a tri-core fused Clapton. See if I can focus it. Lovely bit of hand-built coil business going on. You can get them on Facebook. Tri-core fused Clapton, 0.27 ohms per core. And I do believe that Bill's now got a website as well, so do check out his Facebook page. Now the core that I've been using is this one, and we're going to install it again so I don't have to deform the legs again. But I'll just show you why I don't really like this tool that come with it. It's a rip-off of a brilliant invention by a guy called Simon Martin, who owns the Cordy tool. Now, all of these companies that throw in these particular freebies, I don't really agree with it, because Simon spent a good deal of money investing in this company. And I think that people like Wotofo should be speaking with Simon to see if they can sort out a deal by actually supplying something like this, or even if it was just like a partial part of it to be included instead. But what I don't like about this, it's got a little arrow that says 6mm. So if we put that through there, like this, it's got look how much play we've got in it. So if you were to use this one, I don't think you're going to get very accurate results. Whereas if you use the Cordy tool, find your 6mm, put it through like that, and you just see it just stays there. And when you snip it, you get proper flush leg lengths, which I have done earlier with this coil here. So if you haven't done already, get yourself over onto Facebook and pick yourself up a Cordy tool. They do sell them everywhere now. They do 3D printed ones with your own personalised name. They're a few pounds more. You can just buy the bog standard ones, which I do believe are a few pounds cheaper. Right, time for the build then. Just make sure you open up the screw on either side, depending on what way around you're doing it. And then we can just drop this in. That's really quite easily if you've used your coily tool. That goes in like so. Grab yourself a coiling rod, and then you can just hold it in place. Grab your screwdriver. Right, simple as that, guys. So the only thing with using a coiling rod like that, you are like hampered with how high or low you can get it. But really, that's about like the sort of optimum height. You want the bottom underside of the coil to be hit. Just see if we can see on there. So as you can just see there, that's exactly what's happening. Just want to try and push this bit over a little bit more. Just make sure it's central so we can put this on a mod now. So there you can see we've got no leaking at all going on because we've got the angle posts that are going down. So it's just a case of putting the top cap back on now. Lock it into place and then you're good to go. So let's go back up top now and I'll tell you what I think about it. Right, we're back up top with the Elder Dragon RDA. Right, what are my thoughts with this one then? Well, when I first got it, I was like, yeah, that's an interesting looking design. I wasn't quite sure what I thought of it at first, but I do love the colour of it. And when I put it on the topside jewel, I actually thought, yeah, that's not a bad little matchup, but it is going to be like Marmite. Not everyone's going to like the actual design of it, but I think it looks rather good. Now it comes with 2 drip tips, 810 fitting, which is always a bonus. Just prefer this particular one though; it looks a lot better than the clear or the black frosted one, I should say. Now the fit and finish of this, it's extremely well built. Like I say, I did say down below there is a little bit of a rough edge if you put your finger that way on this bit of engraving there, so that could have been a little bit smoother in my opinion, but. Really chunky bit of stainless steel though this. It's really well built and I love the over intolerances. You can hold it like that nicely. When you put it off, it's just a little bit of restriction to it, so it's very nice. We've got nice little lock-in feature like I showed you, so you can adjust the airflow with just using a cap, and it's very easy to adjust as well. Just a one-piece cap, and I think it's a really good design that. So we can just fully adjust it and then it locks into place on both ends, so if you want to take it off the mod it just comes off just like that. So overall the fit and finish and build quality and design, it is very good. I just really am pleased with it. Now the actual build deck, like I say, very interesting again with the angled top airflow which sort of goes down into a sort of point, which is quite interesting. The only drawback with that is it's sort of directing it towards the centre of the core, so I'm not sure if a big alien like I've got in here is probably the best core to use, but it does work very well, so I've got no complaints with it. We've got a super deep juice well on it, so it's very hard to get this to leak or over drip even because of those airflow holes being angled down. In fact, I haven't had this leak out of me one single bit, so that's definitely a pro. So yeah, the screws on it, they're not the best in the world from Wotofo. They tend to be the same sort of screws that the Recurve had, so that they're okay, but they could be a little bit stronger in my opinion. Now it squonks really well this though, and because like I said of those airflow holes, you can squonk it quite high and it doesn't seem to come out at all, because obviously it's got to try and work its way up those slopes. So yeah, overall the actual design and put a lot of time into this and a lot of thought, and I just think it works very well. So let's have a little pull then. It's 50 watts on a 0.24 build. Here we go. Right, that's the airflow fully open. Right, my rating for that would probably be no more than like a 7, maybe 7.5 out of 10, with 10 being the widest open. So there is definitely a bit of restriction even with the 4 airflow holes open. So let's put it down a little bit. Let's put it to like a more or less halfway. Forgot to say, it is quite loud, especially on that when you've got it wide open. But it does quieten down a little bit when you put it to halfway open. And it does feel a little bit smoother there as well. So I'm going to knock the wattage down to 40 watts. And we're going to just put the airflow so it's more or less like an 1/8 open. So it's still quite quiet. It's a little bit too restrictive for me. If you're going to run it like that, I would suggest putting in a round wire build, higher gauge wire, maybe bump up the resistance a little bit as well. But it does work very well across the board, the actual airflow configurations. Now you might encounter some whistling with this particular tank, especially if you do cut down the airflow. But my advice is to just put quite a lot of cotton in it, even in squonk mode. Just make sure that air can travel underneath the core still. And it seems to have eliminated that whistling sound that you may encounter from it. But should we get on to flavour then? Let's just have one more pull, one more squonk, and then we'll have a pull and tell you what the flavour's like. Back up the 50. Get rid of that excess juice. Here we go. Put it up to 60 in fact. Getting plenty decent clouds with this. The reason I'm chaining it is I over squonked that one a little bit, so it had a little bit too much juice on it. So you just got to watch out for that, otherwise you could flood it out. Just restricted that airflow a little bit more. Knock the wattage down to 50. Here we go. I think this has got really good flavour, this one. Really, really good flavour. Really getting on with it. It's a restrictive draw, right up my street, and I think you'll get on with this. If you like a semi-restrictive draw, you can even knock it down even further. I think you'll like this one. It's a really good flavour chasing little latte. If you like your wide open airflow, I'm not sure you're going to like it because it'll be too restrictive and you won't be able to bump up the wattage high enough. But if you're like me, you like the wattage around 40 to 60 watts on a single corner, I think you'll very much enjoy this one. So I think it's a very well designed device, easy build deck to build on. Just drop your coil in there, and it's very easy to wick as well. It's an RDA, so you just put your cotton in and do what I did down below. You can't go wrong. So overall, it gets a big thumbs up from me. Well done to Wotofo for this one, and of course to the Japanese gentleman too. So big thanks to Wotofo for sending over for a review. It is much appreciated. So if you enjoyed the review, guys, please give it a little thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, why not consider subscribing too, and make sure you hit that little bell notification. You'll be notified of all my latest videos. Now I've got my own website. It's mfvape.co.uk, and you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Now, I've recently been nominated for the Reviewer of the Year award over at Vape Around, so do check out the link below the video and give us a little vote. It'll be much appreciated. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Okay, cheers.